this is how bad this unit is. Bearings are pretty rough. See, it's even generating electricity. When you do that with the motor. Pretty rough. So we're gonna take all these back screws off, all the way around. Come up here, this front will come off front. I took the back cover off, there's a bunch of screws here. Take these plastic covers off here. These guys here hold this lid on. You're just gonna slide the lid back and take it off. It comes back so far, and you lift up, and it'll come off, just like that. If you get it this far, lower your forklift down so you can work on it through the top. And then we're gonna go ahead and loosen this up. See, there was a little Loctite on there, so we're gonna have to put some. That's part of the motor. Permanent magnets. You can see water's been leaking through the seal, destroying the bearing. Okay, so next we need to remove this front here. 2 screws over here, one here, one here. And we'll remove this. Push that little tab down. We got to remove these screws, sensor. So these tabs, you just push on this little tab there and pull it apart. And you should be able to pull it off. Okay, so now we need to take out these screws, take out this front assembly here. All these screws gotta go. You get those screws out, come down here, take this lid off, take out that screw. So next you need to pull down on this and it pops out. Pop this ring out. There's probably a better way to do that, but I didn't do it. You can pull the seal out around the front. And this front end will come right off and lift out of here. I have to disconnect a few things down there. Like one screw I missed right there. Don't forget that one. Now, with one hand, lift this over so you can access the back here. And to disconnect this here switch, you just push down here. So now that we have this, we're gonna go ahead and take off this top piece. Two screws there, one screw here, one screw here. Remove this. Here, soap dispenser just comes out of the slot, so we're just gonna kind of roll that back. We have to we'll take this off here. And just like that, that pops off pretty easy. We're just gonna lay that back there. Hook this little hose. And we're gonna unhook that right there. Little air vent. Kick this stuff back here out of the way. Top portion is pretty much done. We're gonna unhook the shocks now. Actually, I'm gonna take these weights off just so it's easier. Weights, you just gotta kind of work them back and forth. And they'll just pop right off. They're not that heavy. Lay them over here to the side. Do the same thing here. Probably wouldn't have to take them off, but I'm gonna. There you go there. Now we're gonna take this off down here. This is a lot easier to get it off here. It's gonna be a lot of water probably come out of there. For handy dandy Nip-X, you wanna have a big Nip-X here. You don't have to have a Nip-X, but it works pretty good. And there you got some water. Go down to the old floor drain in the shop here. I forgot I'm not in the basement or anywhere part of the house here, so I just raised it up on my forklift here. I kind of forgot, so why am I on my knees? Okay, so we need to take these out. Right there, they twist out. I forgot, you gotta kind of compress that little piece on the back before you pull it out. A lot of times you get your hand back there and push that little tab in, right there. See it sticking out? Okay, we'll go ahead and snip this little zip tie here. Replace it later. Unplug all these wires. This one just push down here, pull. These pull down. It's a little heating element. It won't matter which way these wires go, but they kind of got a memory, so you'll get it. And we'll bust that ground off. Millimeter. And voila. Same thing on the back here. You need to push that little pin in and pull. Now I got the pin pushed in right there. I just pushed it in with my finger. I couldn't do it with two hands, or I mean one hand. And they just pull back and forth here. Pin out. Just plastic. Cable's all wrapped in plastic. That's for the motor. We need to take this ground off. We're not going to disconnect anything from the stator here. Unhook all that. Clip that zip tie. Okay, here's a little twisty tie on here. You need to save that. It grabs back. You push on that little guy, pull it apart. It's got a little push button there. Just get those apart. Take the ground off. You take this little tube off, and we should be good to go pretty close to pull the drum out now. At this point, you want to lower your forklift down so you can work on it, so it don't dump on the floor, if you have one. As we can see, there is nothing back here anymore attached, so we're gonna manhandle this out of here. Okay, wish me luck. Oh, I did forget. These are kind of funky. I just lifted up. They have a special spring holder that you need to get out. But I'm taking the easy way out. Now we got to split this casing here. So a lot of screws, 10 millimeter, get the zipping. So those screws go all the way around. Get yourself a long extension like this on a impact drill and go the right way, don't strip them out. Take all those out. I'm not going to show you that. Put them all out on here. Now we can split the tub. They make a nice little spot right here where it race spread open. This one's split pretty easy. You just lift it right off. There's your heating element. And right here, my friends, is why you never leave the door closed when you're storing. It's got to get all cleaned up. That's where your stink comes from. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive the factory bolt back in. Kind of tighten it. That's going to give me something to pound on. You need to make sure it's tight so you don't ruin your threads. Pound on that, get it loose, and then take this back off. Well, I didn't have the camera on when I was whacking it, but you got to hit her pretty hard. And it's going to go like that. And take your impact and get that bolt out of there. And we'll see if we can't get it this way out. She is dry. Now, make sure you don't ruin the stator here. Let it sit on the floor first. Get a good look at it here. Looks like the shaft's fine. Bearings are just rougher than all out. Hear that? Now we'll drive them bearings out, put the new ones in, and we'll be back in business. This piece can crack, but it looks good. It don't look like it's busted or anything like that. I'm gonna get a long chisel and we're gonna knock that other bearing out there. That goes out the other way. Seal's in front of it. That's what the underside looks like. I'm driving that out now, and that seal popped out there. So we'll keep going. All I'm doing is putting the chisel in back here to get on this side of the bearing, right down in there, and pounding her down, rotating, quarter, 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 and so on. Okay, so we got that bearing out. Right there's the housing. We're gonna get this all cleaned up before we put it together. Now we gotta set this upside down without destroying any of this and pound on it. But it appears these bolts sit up higher, so should be good. So now I'm gonna drive that out, but keep in mind, I'm gonna have to raise it up, but I'm gonna get it going and I'll kind of tilt it sideways maybe and pop it out that way. Or set it on some 2x4s. Got it bottomed out and see it's coming out there, so now I'm gonna have to set it on a board. I raised it up, it just fell right out, so that's good. When you have that leaking like that, you're gonna have all this crud in the back because that seal started leaking because the bearings got play in. Clean all up, we'll spray her down with some bleach. Okay, got that. The thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wire wheel this all off here, make sure the seal spot's good, which is kind of rough. So the sealing surface where the seal goes on here is not the best. It's all kind of, I mean, it ain't bad if I put the seal out a little bit, but if it runs in that groove, it's not gonna be good. We're gonna roll with it, I think. If I get 10 more years out of it, 10 more years. We got our new bearings now. We'll go ahead and tap those in. And we'll tap this one in and then the seal. This I use just a little bit bigger socket. Tap it in. And the seal. That one you want to be kind of gentle with. We don't want to forget to place that seal. So right there's the new seal. It's just glued together, so keep in mind that seam was up on top here. Okay, we got the gasket in there. We are ready to go back together. Putting the hub in. So a little trick is put a 5-gallon bucket under there. It actually supports it perfect, even without hitting that little bracket there. It does just a little bit, but it won't hurt your stator. Get that the rest of the way down. If it don't go down, I just put a square block in there and just tap it down. Okay, we got that all cleaned up. Seal cleaned up good, disinfected, and get her screwed up here. Now we got all those tight. You hand tighten them with a wrench so you don't strip them out. You can use an impact, put them on, but do not get them too tight. And it'll kind of look like this, but it's got a lot of pressure on there. I do it like this. I just kind of roll it in, kind of bend these so I don't have to mess with their factory tab and break it. That's just me though, being difficult. Okay, remember the black weight is on the bottom, the white one's on top. So we get the weights back on here. So it kind of behaves a little bit better in here. There, that's better. See how she spins. Look at that. Beautiful. And just put the shock pieces back in there like that until they snap. Feel that little piece come out there like that. Probably should have changed the shocks, but never really had any issue. But probably have to do it again. Always check that. You'll thank me later. You can buy new ones too if you want. Don't forget to zip tie. Then make sure you cut them at a sharp angle so that next guy gets really tore up. That tube on, It's like a water level sensor. Come back here and put this little hose on. Okay, you guys remember where that goes? Green wire there. Like I said, either one of these wires can be flipped around, but this is the way it was. Right over here. Yellow there. Don't forget to hook this little guy up. I'm not sure what this one does, but make it snap. Don't forget those. Weights. Okay, don't forget to put that clamp on. Soap box is on. Don't forget to put this switch on. That is also for level. Make sure this little check valve thing here is in there too. That falls out when you take this all apart and put the bearings in. Put that back on there, tighten the old clamp down. Okay, reinstall this front. Okay, now set the door here in the pocket. Oh, there's another screw. I forgot. Plug this guy in, your door switch. Need the wire through there. Sits in here. And it snaps. Just like that. You got to snap there, and snap there, snap there. Don't forget to loop these in. Otherwise the wires will rub and wear out someday. Then the actual stator, rotor, whatchamacallit's going back on there now. It kind of just sucks itself on there. I had one of these that actually was wore out right here before. Okay, you want to put a decent amount of blue Loctite on there. That was what was on there. If you don't, it's going to come loose and it's going to rattle all the heck and wear out that white piece. Okay, I left the top half full off and we filled her with some water. Make sure that seal's not going to leak. Run it through a cycle here. Sounds pretty good. So during the spin cycle, I'm adding water here just to drop in the box, and it actually is dumping it out. It senses it. Just kind of flush it out right there. Yeah, I gotta put those screws in yet there, I forgot. Well, she looks good. Just gonna put the top back on and put her back in house. LG washer. So one important step is you gotta fold this seal over the front and then put this spring-loaded one through the gap. Little by little. Back in 2008, heck, those things were like $2,400 for the pair. That's insane. Back then. What are they now? She's quiet now, that's for sure. That's nice.